Good evening. This is the special coverage of the coronavirus crisis using the combined forces of TV5 and Signal TV's One News, Radio 5, and 1PH. Also joining us on occasion will be our One News partners from the Philippine Star and Business World. This just in, the President has put the entire country under a state of calamity. This will now allow LGUs and the national government ample space to use appropriate funds, including the Quick Response Fund, in their disaster preparedness efforts to contain the spread of COVID-19. This will last for a period of 6 months unless lifted earlier or extended as circumstances warrant. This comes in a day after an enhanced and expanded quarantine, not just for the 13 million residents of Metro Manila, but for the 53 million Filipinos who live on Luzon Island. President Duterte made the pronouncement to contain the rapidly spreading coronavirus that has so far claimed 12 lives in our country. This translates to more restrictions in the movement of citizens until April 12. Unlike the absolute lockdown implemented in Wuhan, China, some establishments will be allowed to continue their operations.
Everyone will stay at home, leaving their houses only to buy food, medicine, and other basic necessary for survival in the coming days. Only such establishments will provide these basic necessities and services will be open.
Despite the heightened presence of uniformed personnel to enforce isolation procedures, the Chief Executive clarifies that this is not a declaration of martial law.
But let me make this clear. This is not martial law. Under the Constitution, martial law is declared when there is invasion, rebellion, or public safety requires it.
But the President warned that grappling with police officers who are tasked to enforce the quarantine may amount to public disturbance, disobedience to lawful authority, or even direct assault, and will be dealt with accordingly. On the other hand, authorities who will fail to enforce tougher restrictions may be liable for dereliction of duty. The private sector was also called upon to alleviate the suffering of those whose livelihood will be affected by the enhanced quarantine. The President asked employers to allow work from home arrangements and to release prorated 13th month pay to ensure that workers will have enough resources for the duration of the quarantine. Basic utility providers were also asked to extend a month-long reprieve for the collection of bill payments.
But I'd like to address yung mga mayayaman. You might be able really to alleviate the situation by just understanding also the plight of the workers who are not working now and lawfully are not in any position to demand. My countrymen, again, we discuss our most potent weapons in this war against COVID-19 are not bullets or ammunition, but our compassion and consideration for our Filipinos in the next few years.
Following the President's announcement of an expanded and enhanced community quarantine, Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles explains certain guidelines. In a press conference, Nograles says the suspension includes all forms of mass transportation, such as buses and jeeps. Aside from that, land, air, and sea travel will also be restricted, while the movement of cargo across Luzon would continue unhampered. He noted that the general rule under Duterte's new order is to stay at home. Cabinet members and NCR Mayors or Metro Mayors have discussed plans in implementing the enhanced community quarantine during their Manila Council meeting. Now, to give us more details on what happened in that meeting, we have live from Makati News 5 correspondent Dale De Vera. Dale.
At sa unang araw nga ng pagpapatupad ng Enhanced Community Quarantine ay nagpulong ito mga miyembro ng Metro Manila Council at ang ilang miyembro ng gabinete para ayusin o linisin ang ilang gusot sa guidelines. Dumalo sa pagpupulong sina Health Secretary Francisco Duque, Interior Secretary Eduardo Año, Cabinet Secretary Carlos Nograles at Trade Secretary Ramon Lopez. Dito pinag-usapan kung paano matutulungan ng national government ang mga lokal na pamahalaan sa pagpapatupad ng quarantine. Particular daw na pinag-usapan kung paano ang gagawin sa sinabi ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte na sasagutin ng mga barangay ang mga pagkain sakaling kulangin ang supply. Giit ni San Juan Mayor Francis Zamora, kahit na maaaring gamitin ang Calamity Fund, ay mayroon itong hangganan at umaasa raw sila na mapag-uusapan ito pagdating sa Interagency Task Force meeting. Sa usapan naman ng transportasyon para sa mga empleyado nagsasagawa ng essential work, napagkasundoan daw ng council na utusan ng mga kumpanya na magbigay ng sariling transportasyon. Giit ni DILG Secretary Año, kung sakaling kulangin ang masasakyan ay saka pa ng pag-uusapan ng national government kung paano ito tutulong. Nanindigan din si Año na kailangan suspindihin lahat ng pampublikong transportasyon kahit pa mga tricycle. Kasunod dito ng pagpayag ni Pasig City Mayor Vico Soto sa limitadong biyahe ng mga tricycle para sa mga essential job workers. Pero giit ng City Administrator na si Atty. Jeron Manzanero ng Pasig, sa ngayon ay tuloy pa rin ang mga biyahe ng tricycle pero ipapatigil daw ito kapag nagpalabas na ng memorandum order ang IATF. Nagpaalala rin si Año sa mga kumpanya na dapat ay walang pasok kung hindi naman kasama sa exemption ang kanilang mga industriya. Sakaling di raw sumunod ay maaaring isanksyon ang mga ito at posibleng maging dahilan pa ito para ma-revoke ang kanilang mga business permit. Nakiusap ang DILG sa lahat ng mga LGU sa buong Luzon na manguna sa pagpapatupad ng enhanced community quarantine at nanindigan ito na dapat ay walang leeway dahil magiging sanhi lamang daw ito ng panibagong problema. Nangako naman itong mga miyembro ng Metro Manila Council na lalong papaigtingin ang kampanya kontra COVID-19 at makikipagtulungan sa national government. Target kasi ni Secretary Año na ma-wipe out ang virus sa loob ng pinaiiral na 30 days na community quarantine, kaya mahigpit ang kanyang bilin sa lahat ng LGU sa buong Luzon. Ed?
Okay, Dale, itong Metro Manila Council, ito ay yung 16 na mayor ng mga syudad at isang mayor ng munisipyo dito sa kabuuan ng Metro Manila, di ba? So, lahat yan yung mga alkalde. Meron ba silang assessment, yung pinaka-assessment nila doon sa first day ng complete quarantine ng Luzon? Ito ba'y successful o hindi? Nabawasan ba talaga yung mga taong gumagala sa kalsada at napagkasundo ba talaga yung mga dapat pagkasunduan?
Kanina doon sa mga nakausap nating ilang mayor, kasama na sina Mayor Zamora, Mayor Calixto at si Mayor Olivares ng Parañaque, wala silang binigay na official assessment for the day. Pero nakita nila na nabawasan yung tao sa kalsada. Kumbaga hindi nila ma-quantify kung successful ba ito. Pero kasi ang ginawa nila ngayong meeting ay para lang talaga ayusin yung mga gusot sa guidelines. Linawin yung mga questions nila sa IATF para maipatupad na maayos itong community quarantine, enhanced community quarantine. Ed?
Well, Del, kaya ako naitanong yan dahil nga earlier this morning, sinabi naman ni Mayor Vico Soto sa kanyang tweet, papayagan ng Pasig yung mga tricycle na bumiyahe, bagamat ito'y apparently labag doon sa inutos ng Pangulo na lahat ng mass transport systems ipatitigil. Sinigundahan yan kanina ni Yusek Jonathan Malaya ng DILG na bawal yan at talagang hindi yan kasama doon sa pinapayagan o exemption doon sa travel restrictions. So, doon pa lang parang ang tanong ko doon parang meron silang hindi pagkakaunawaan doon sa panig ng hanggang saan ang travel restriction.
Bali ang paliwanag naman ng Pasig is kailangan nila yung payagan yung mga tricycle dahil yun lang yung nakakaabot doon sa ibang areas noong mga workers, medical health workers. Pero nga sinabi ni Secretary Año kanina na mahirap pa rin kung papayagan ito mga tricycle. Hindi naman nila hindi sinabi ng Pasig na hindi nila susundin itong panuntunan ng DILG or ng IATF, pero sinabi nila na sa oras na maglabas ng memorandum order itong IATF kaugnay doon nga sa pinaiiral nila na limited travel ng tricycles, ay agad din naman daw nilang ipapatigil din yung pagbebiyahe. Kumbaga, ipipilitin na rin nila yung mga hospitals or yung mga employers na magbigay ng transportation para dito sa mga medical health workers na medyo malalayo daw sa mga kanilang papasukan. Ed?
Okay, that was Dale De Vera, our News 5 correspondent, reporting live from outside the Metro Manila Development Authority office in Guadalupe in Makati. Let's now take a look at the current situation of commuters in Metro Manila. Gerard de la Peña is joining us live from, I understand, from one of the bus terminals. Gerard, kamusta ang sitwasyon dito sa mga bus terminals? Meron pa bang bus?
Wala na mga bus dito at yun nga, napakaraming mga naghihintay na mga pasahero dito sa hilera ng mga bus terminal, dito sa Araneta, dito sa bandang Cubao, EDSA. Kaninang umaga pa lang ay naghihintay na sila dito at umaasang sila'y makakasakay ng papuntang probinsya. At ngayon nga madilim na, nag-aalala sila na siguradong aabutan sila ng curfew dito sa kalsada. Alam mo, Bok, iba't iba yung kwento ng mga nakausap natin dito na maghapon na nga nag-aabang na masakyan. Ang isa rito ay galing pang Masbate at parang in transit lamang dito dahil papauwi sila sa Pangasinan. Pinalampas lang daw sila yung bus na sinasakyan nila sa checkpoint kanina sa Laguna dahil may dalang mga isda. Pero pagdating nila dito, yan na nga, problema na ang masasakyan. Ang marami rin dito ay mga construction worker na kanina lang natapos ang trabaho. Problema ang pauwi sa Bulacan at Pampanga dahil wala na ngang bus. Merong mga tumitigil dito na mga habal-habal na nag-aalok ng sakay sa mga naghihintay dito. Marami ring mga pribadong sasakyan na nag-aalok ng sakay papuntang Pampanga, pero pumapatak na 1,000 piso ang singil sa kada pasahero. Nag-aalala rin ang marami sa kanila dahil wala silang matutuluyan dito sa Metro Manila. Ayon naman sa PNP, hindi raw sila magpo-provide ng mga truck, pati ang AFP para sunduin ang mga stranded na pasahero dito. Malalagay lang din daw sa alanganin ang kanilang buhay kung mahawa sila sa COVID-19. Priority lang ng PNP at AFP ang sariling mga tauhan na iahatid sa mga checkpoints. Posible nga MMDA at LGUs raw ang magtulungan para magbigay ng libreng sakay. Alam mo, Bok, hanggang sa mga oras na ito ay napakaraming pasahero dito. Yung iba dito ay nakaupo na dito sa bangketa at hanggang ngayon ay umaasa pa rin sila ng masasakyan papunta sa mga probinsya. Bok.
Okay, Gerard, sa itsura mo, para kang nasa EDSA Cubao, kung tama yung pagkakatansya ko sa iyo. Meron ba talagang inaasang darating pang bus dyan o wala na talaga silang pag-asang may masasakyan dyan na bus? Kasi kanina lang umaga, nanguhuli sila ng mga bus at taxi dyan sa EDSA.
Tama, Bok, nandito ako sa northbound lane ng EDSA makalampas ng Cubao. Ito yung mga hilera ng mga provincial bus terminals dito sa EDSA. At yun nga, alam mo, may conflicting reports tayo nakukuha dahil kanina merong kinonfirm ang MMDA na meron daw ide-deploy na mga buses at trucks ang DND at ang PNP. Pero yun nga, pinasinungalingan na nga ito ng PNP. At meron ding isang bus company raw na nag-commit na magpapadala ng mga bus sa mga stranded na passengers. Kanina meron din tayong nakuhang report na isang bus company naman ang nag-offer na susunduin yung mga medical workers mula sa Cavite at dadalhin dito sa Metro Manila. Pero lahat ng mga bus na yan hanggang ngayon ay wala pa tayo nakikita. Kaya ang daming mga pasahero dito na hanggang ngayon umaasa na merong susundo sa kanila. Pero up to this time, Bok, nagtatry tayong mag-confirm from the DOTR. Wala pa rin silang maibigay na sagot sa atin kung meron yan dadating na mga bus dito. Bok.
Nako, Gerard, mag-aalas 7 na ng gabi. Anong tansya mo? Wala na talaga, malabo na talaga. At they may as well find another way to go home or find another place to stay. Ganun ba? Is that what we're saying right now?
Yun nga, Bok. Madilim na nga at nag-aalala na yung marami dito dahil ang alam nila merong curfew dito at around 8 o'clock. So, yun, ang marami dito ay walang matutuluyan dito sa Metro Manila at ang inaasahan na nga lang daw nila ay makakauwi sila sa Central Luzon ngayon. So, ito, marami sa kanila ay clueless pa rin kung anong gagawin at wala naman silang matutuluyan dito sa Metro Manila. So, palagay ko ang gagawin ng marami sa kanila dito ay tsatsagain pa rin nila at maghihintay sila hanggang may dumating na mga bus na pwede maghatid sa kanila sa Central Luzon. Bok.
Okay, that's quite unfortunate. Maraming salamat, Gerard de la Peña. It is not just Luzon that is under community quarantine. Other parts of Visayas and Mindanao are also under some form of quarantine, just like in Cebu City. And to give us the latest there, we have from the Freeman, Lorraine Ekarma. Lorraine, anong latest dyan?
So the province of Cebu currently has no confirmed COVID-19 case. However, the provincial government has already taken preemptive measures to prevent the entry of the virus. Last March 12, Governor Gwendolyn Garcia issued Executive Order 5E and 5F, imposing the suspension of inbound domestic sea travel and domestic flights to Cebu. This is with the exception of incoming cargoes and supplies who have undergone the prescribed biosecurity measures. Outbound travel from the province also remains uninhibited. All incoming foreigners from all international flights, apart from those already included in the national travel ban, will be subject to a mandatory 14-day quarantine. Component cities and municipalities of the province have also begun observing a 7-hour curfew from 10 in the evening to 5 in the morning. Garcia has also ordered for a temporary closure of gyms, swimming pools, and recreation centers hosting communal activities in Cebu. All these precautionary restrictions are set to last for 30 days. The province of Cebu is already working out financial aid with concerned government departments for displaced workers in the province from businesses affected by the imposed preventive measures.
Lorraine, can you hear us, Lorraine?
Yes, hello?
Okay, Lorraine, just a few questions. So, Cebu now has a curfew, if I understand you correctly, and there are travel restrictions. What about commercial activity? Is there also a restriction on commercial activity like what we have here right now in Luzon?
As far as the restrictions on commercial activities go, establishments like bars and cafes have been ordered to close at 9 in the evening.
Okay, so it's a curfew. It's more of a curfew than
a curfew.
than
However,
a lockdown.
Establishments delivering basic goods and services, along with people delivering these services and goods, are exempted from curfew.
Okay. Lorraine Karma, maraming salamat. Reporting for the Freeman from Cebu City. Maraming salamat, Lorraine. And now we have on the line Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles joining us for a few questions. Cabinet Secretary Nograles, thank you for joining us, sir.
You're welcome. Magandang gabi at
Yes, sir.
magandang gabi po sa ating mga nanonood.
Sir, yes, sir. I understand that the IATF perhaps just finished its meeting. Do you have an assessment already?
Still ongoing.
Still ongoing? Yes, sir.
I just stepped out of the room. So,
Yeah, well,
ongoing pa rin yung meeting
well, thank you
namin.
for taking our call, sir. But would the IATF already have an assessment for the first day and recommendations for the succeeding days?
Mag-announce po ako mamayang alas 8. Kung matatapos kami on time, I'll make an announcement at 8 p.m. sa mga karagdagang guidelines and information with regards sa enhanced community quarantine po natin.
Opo. Sir, tell me if I'm getting this correctly, pero the impression I got the whole day was that the biggest issue was yung question on the travel restrictions, whether certain vehicles are allowed and whether the guidelines on travel restrictions have been met. Is that the same thing that you're getting in the IATF?
Well, isa yun sa ina-address na po natin ngayon sa Interagency Task Force meeting natin. Kaya nandito rin po kasama namin ang top brass ng Philippine National Police para magkaroon po tayo ng mas magandang enforcement tomorrow, no? At meron din po silang mga share po nila sa grupo or sa task force namin na mga recommendations po nila para mas magiging maganda yung daloy tomorrow.
Opo. Oh, well, kaya for example po, nakita namin kaninang umaga, ang dami ng hinuli ng mga taxi at bus. Although pinakawalan din sila eventually, pero dun po sa punto yun, maghihigpit na po ba? Mag-aresto na po ba kayo at magpa-fine ng mga lumalabag doon sa travel restrictions like yung mga PUVs and PUJs?
Opo, kailangan na po. So, mas higpitan po nila bukas yung enforcement. Dahil hindi po talaga pwede yung sa mass public transportation, yan ay suspended. Ginagawa po natin ito hindi dahil gusto natin pahirapan natin mga kababayan, pero ginagawa po natin ito para sa safety po ng lahat. No?
Opo. Kasi po sa EDSA lamang kaninang umaga, mga 300 taxi ang nahuli. So ganun po karami sa EDSA lamang sa isang mag-umaga.
Kaya nga po, kami po ay nakikiusap na mag-cooperate na lang po ang lahat dahil ito naman po ay mga hakbang na ginagawa natin para sa kaligtasan po ng lahat. No? Pati na rin yung mga taxi drivers, baka iniisip nila kung para rin to sa kaligtasan po ninyo. Kaya panawagan po talaga namin, bahay muna, buhay muna.
Opo.
When in doubt, stay at home.
Yeah, and like what you said, I think last night, in case of any doubt, the answer is no.
Yes. In case of any doubt, stay at home na lang po. Para hindi na po bigyan ng paraan pa yung virus na makaikot pa dito sa Luzon, maging sa Metro Manila at kung saan-saan po.
Opo. Pero po yung isang issue kanina na lumitaw that we're hoping that has already been fixed in the IATF meeting is yung medyo kakulangan po doon sa transportation for those who belong to the essential sectors. For example, yung mga nurse, mga health workers, mga pharmacists and so on na wala namang sasakyan at kailangan mag-commute pero medyo kulang po tayo sa mass transport. Have you already fixed that as far as travel is concerned?
Yes, kami po ay nananawagan sa ating mga private hospitals at health facilities sa pribadong sektor na on your own initiative po, kung maaaring mag-devise po kayo ng paraan kung paano po ninyong i-transport papunta at sundo at hatid sa inyong mga health workers, no, or yung sa workforce ninyo. Pero sa mga government health facilities at mga hospital, ay nagkaroon na po ng kasunduan ng Department of Health at Department of Transportation na magde-deploy po tayo ng mga buses para sila po ay mabigyan ng transportation papunta po sa ating mga government hospitals.
Well, Secretary, I understand po this is probably not to ask you for an answer to a micro problem pero along EDSA Cubao mga ilang daan po mga tao nag-iintay ng bus na hindi na darating and they have no way to get back to Central Luzon and they have nowhere else to go, so that might be something that the line agencies may want to look at too. At least
yes, actually, sige, tonight ba yan?
Tonight po. Nag-report lang kanina yung aming reporters, Jared de la Peña, dun sa hilera ng mga bus stations sa EDSA northbound at southbound, ang dami po nag-iintay, tumaasa na may dating na bus, nakaupo sila sa mga bangketa.
Sige po, ipaparating ko po sa mga task force members ko na nandito po ngayon.
Yes, sir. Alright, sir. Sorry, sir. One more question po. Yung state of calamity po, I understand that's already been declared by the President for the whole country. What do we expect po from that declaration?
Well, dahil po dito, matatap na po ng ating mga LGUs, no, yung kanilang quick response fund. Yan naman po yung purpose ng ating pag-declare ng state of calamity para hindi na po mahirapan ang mga affected LGUs na mag-tap na po sa kanilang quick response fund. Kasi kung isipin po natin, yung LGUs, sila po yung frontliners. So even pagdating sa food assistance sa mga kababayan natin na affected po dito sa enhanced community quarantine, lalong-lalo na hindi nakakapagtrabaho at wala pong means ng pambili ng kanilang pagkain, ay yung LGUs na po yung magde-devise ng sistema kung paano sila mag-extend ng food assistance using their quick response fund. Tapos i-augment na lang po ito ng DSWD. Pero yung pagsiset up po ng sistema will be the LGUs.
Okay. Maraming salamat po, Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles. Abangan po namin yung inyong press con mamaya pagdaos ng IATF meeting. Thank you, sir, for taking the time to join us today.
Maraming salamat at ingat po lahat.
Salamat
Thank
po.
you po.
The government is requesting local leaders to lend official vehicles so that they can be used to ferry essential workers. The DOTR is also urging private businesses to provide transport services for their employees. Meanwhile, Trade Secretary Mon Lopez is suggesting to companies that they provide workers with temporary housing or lodging near their workplaces. The Interagency Task Force on COVID-19 has approved a window time for passengers. The IATF says all passengers, regardless of nationality, may depart within the 72-hour period unless their flights have been canceled by their respective airlines or the Civil Aeronautics Board. All Cebu Pacific and Cebgo flights will be canceled from March 19 until April 14. Air Asia, meanwhile, has halted all of its domestic flights to and from the Ninoy Aquino International Airport and Clark International Airport until April 14. Operations in Cavitex and Calax will continue 24/7. The operators of the two thoroughfares say that they support the government's directive on unhampered movement of essential cargo. They also encourage motorists who must travel to use Easy Trip RFIDs to ensure that social distancing guidelines are being followed. And now let's look at the local situation via this tracker created by the Department of Health. We can see here that the cases are concentrated in Metro Manila. Just this afternoon, the DOH confirmed 45 new cases, bringing the total number of COVID-19 positive cases in the country to 187. 26 of which are confined at the Research Institute for Tropical Medicine or RITM, while 23 are admitted at the Medical City in Ortigas. We, however, have confirmed cases as well in Ilocos, Dumaguete, and down here, northern and eastern Mindanao. Now, in terms of the rate of infection, we will just jump to another graph here. Now, the rate of infection began to spike. If you look at this blue line, it began to spike during the first week of March. See, it's climbing over here. It was just over a week and a half ago when we still had only 3 COVID positive cases in the country. Now we already have 187. Now, let's take a closer look at the cases, particularly their ages. In this graph over here, I'll just blow it up. As you can see, older people, especially those aged 51 to 60, are the most at the greatest risk. In the Philippines, around 30 cases out of more than 100 confirmed are under this age group. Nearly 2/3 of these are male patients. Now, on the bright side, 4 people have already recovered from COVID-19 in the country. Baliwag, Bulacan Mayor Ferdy Estrella has tested positive for COVID-19. Estrella says that his symptoms manifested last week. Meanwhile, presidential son and Davao City Mayor or Vice Mayor Sebastian Duterte is reportedly undergoing self-quarantine as a person under monitoring for COVID-19. According to reports, Baste has flu-like symptoms including cough, fever, and a sore throat. Meanwhile, BDO confirms that an employee in one of its branches in San Juan City tested positive for the virus. The bank says it is closely monitoring the patient's situation as it also ensures the well-being of its employees, customers, and its suppliers. The health department is optimistic that the country will have enough COVID-19 testing kits as it grapples with the rapidly rising cases of the virus. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III says 500 testing kits arrived from South Korea last Friday, and about 5,000 to 10,000 units are expected to be delivered this week. He also says they received 2,000 testing kits from China, and another 10,000 units may arrive on Wednesday. Let's now check the latest COVID-19 global figures with the help of this online tracking map created by Johns Hopkins University. There are now 183,304 confirmed cases worldwide. Italy has recorded a total of 27,980 casualties, with China, of course, still being number one with 81,000 casualties, infected people. Iran is number 3 with 14,000, Spain with 9,000, and Korea, the only Asian country in the top 5 with 8,000. The death toll, meanwhile, now is at 7,166. Italy recorded 368 new deaths. easily the biggest daily toll recorded in any country, including in China. On the bright side, there are now 79,731 who have recovered from the coronavirus disease. So we are looking at a mortality rate of around 3.9%, and so far a recovery rate of about half of the people who have been infected. Now back to our shores. Trucks carrying agricultural goods, not just to Metro Manila but to other parts of Luzon, are experiencing delays in delivery due to stricter checkpoints. That's despite the assurance from the Agriculture Department that the ferrying of goods and food products will remain unhampered. Earlier reports say that over 30 trucks carrying no less than 200 sacks of rice from Nueva Ecija are affected. The DA has put in place a food lane pass for vehicles accredited by the DA. Trucks without the pass will have to go through normal checkpoints. The Labor Department has rolled out its COVID-19 adjustment program worth 1.3 billion pesos. Affected workers of small and micro enterprises will receive a 5,000 peso financial aid through their payroll system. DOLE adds that the informal sector workers and those who have been displaced may avail of its TUPAD program for financial assistance.
They can go to the website of the DOLE NCR. Doon sila mag-register at saka doon nila ilagay yung mga pangalan ng mga empleyado nilang naapektuhan. Karamihan ito ang magsasubmit HR. But this is subject to validation.
The Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office has temporarily suspended lotto operations nationwide and small-town lottery operations in Luzon amid the COVID-19 threat. PCSO General Manager Royina Garma says an additional 1 billion peso additional assistance will be given to help in the government's battle against COVID-19. This is on top of the 420 million peso assistance that the PCSO board earlier approved. Authorities in Valenzuela City are taking strict measures in preventing other people from entering the city. To give us more updates, we have live on the line, live in Valenzuela City, Laila Panglinan. Laila, kamusta ka dyan?
Magandang gabi sa iyo, Bok. Nako, tama yung sinabi mo na nag-i-enforce na talaga ng strict measures ang Valenzuela City sa mga pasaway na residente na lalabag sa ordinance. Kasi sinabi nga sa atin kanina ni Mayor Rex Gatchalian na long before the EO ng ating Pangulo ay meron na talaga silang city ordinance sa mga lalabag sa mga kautusan ng syudad. At yun ay may multa na 5,000 piso. But with regards to the EO of the President, ito ay may karampatang kulong naman, no? So sabi nga ni Mayor Rex Gatchalian sa akin kanina, mamili sila, sasakit yung bulsa nila o makukulong sila dahil sa pagiging pasaway nila. Ang pinakang advice talaga niya sa mga Valenzuelano ay to just stay at home and stay safe dahil sila na raw talaga ang bahala sa pagkain ng mga Valenzuelano. Actually, Bok, nakita talaga natin yan, busy ang LGU sa pagpapak ng mga food packs para sa mga constituents ng Valenzuela doon sa kanilang alert center. At na-tour din tayo, no, na every single road talagang nakikita nila doon sa kanilang war room, including itong kinatatayuan ko ngayon na MacArthur Highway, boundary ng Mekawayan, Bulacan at ng Valenzuela City. Na andito tayo ngayon at kung napapansin mo, Bok, konti na lang yung mga sasakyan na lumalabas ng Valenzuela, papasok ng Bulacan. At kung mapapansin mo ulit, mas marami yung mga parang mga delivery truck na pumapasok sa Bulacan. Konti na lang din yung mga motorsiklo. Pero kanina, nung mga bandang bago magtanghalian, inabot din natin na medyo bulto pero hindi naman sobrang marami. Makikita rin natin at mapupunan natin na napakang systematic din ang ginagawa ng mga nagmamando ng checkpoints dito. Kabilang dito yung AFP, PNP at yung mga volunteers na taga-health center ng LGU. Doon sa may bandaron pa lang, kinukuha na ng ID yung mga dilakad saka yung mga motorista. Pagkatapos sa bandang ito si ate, dito nila kinukunan ng body temperature yung lahat ng papasok ng Bulacan. Sa may bandaro naman, ayan, andyan naman yung mga private vehicles na papasok ng Bulacan. So, dinivide nila sa apat yung papasukan ng mga sasakyan, pati na rin tao. Meron pang pribado, meron pang delivery, meron pang two wheels, at meron namang pang tao. Ed, sa kabilang bound naman, kung kayo ay papasok ng Valenzuela City, very systematic din yung pagpapapasok nila kung papapasukin ka, no? Nakita natin na hinihingan sila ng ID kung wala kayong business, kung bakit kayo papasok ng Valenzuela, kung hindi kayo taga NCR, hindi kayo papasukin, lalong-lalo na kung hindi naman kayo kabilang sa mga essentials na pinagtatrabahunan, katulad ng delivery ng tubig, sa kuryente, sa butika, kung hindi kayo mga medical staff, kung hindi kayo trabahador sa gobyerno, hindi na kayo pinapapasok sa Valenzuela. Napakang istrikto nila. To the point, Bok, no, maikwento ko lang. Kanina nalimutan kong isuot yung ID ko, pati ako, hindi nila pinapasok at hiningan talaga nila ako ng ID. Kaya tayo naman, syempre, bilang civilian, susunod tayo sa ating mga kapulisan. At yun din naman yung sinabi nila sa atin, na sana kung maaari lang, laban kasi daw nating lahat ito. Kaya kung maaari, magkaroon na lang tayo ng kooperasyon sa isa't isa. Kanina, Ed, no, nung papunta kami rito, nasa may bandang Caloocan pa lang kami ng MacArthur Highway, nakita natin na talagang struggle, no, yung mga tao na sumasakay para lang makauwi o makarating dito sa boundary ng Valenzuela at Mekawayan. Mayroon tayong mga nakita umiiyak kasi talagang alas 5 pa ng madaling araw, nag-aantay na, alas 10 na ng umaga noon, hindi pa rin sila makasakay. Yung iba naman, nagiging tama na sa paningin nila ang pagsakay sa habal-habal kahit na alam nilang illegal ito. Maraming storyang ganyan. Yung iba nga sumakay pa sa mga trailer na lang, makaabot lang sila, Bok, dito sa boundary na to ng MacArthur Highway sa Mekawayan, Bulacan at Valenzuela City, Bok.
Laila, pinapanood namin ngayon yung video mo. I suppose sinuto ito kanina nung may araw pa. Pinagkakagulo ng mga tao yung 10-wheeler na may kargang mga bakal at nagsasakayan sila kahit delikado. Paano naubos yung mga taong ito? Siyempre, hindi naman ganyan karami yung mga pwedeng magsakay ng mga tao eh. So, paano naubos ng mga taong ito? At pangalawa, anong nasa natin bukas?
Inaasahan ng mga pulis bukas at ng mga LGU na mas konti na yung tao. Yung mga essentials na lang talaga, Bok, ang makikita nila na papasok at lalabas ng mga boundaries sa buong Luzon. Number 2, yung sa susunod mong tanong, paano naubos, napanood sa magandang pagkakataon, napanood ng ni Secretary Anyo at ni Secretary Salvador Panelo yung ating Facebook Live kanina, at agad-agad pinadeploy niya ang mga trucks ng DND pati na rin ng PNP para maubos yung mga stranded na passengers. Meron din tayong nabalitaan from MMDA din, Bok, na from Cavite naman sa PITX, merong libreng sakay para sa mga stranded passengers. Dito mo rin makikita, no, na despite of the COVID outbreak and despite of us being afraid and meron tayong social distancing sa isa't isa, dito mo makikita na walang social distancing kapag gustong-gusto at uwing-uwi ka na talaga sa pamilya mo. Pero dito mo rin naman makikita na buhay pa rin ang bayanihan nating mga Pilipino, Bok.
Pero buwis-buhay ginagawa nila ngayon madaling maipit dun sa gulong ng truck eh. Sorry, pinapanood namin yung video mo eh.
Din natin sila kanina kasi syempre ang concern talaga natin, Bok, dyan, yung baka imbis na makauwi sila, sa ospital sila mapunta. Kaya lang talagang they were so desperate to go home kasi nga alas 5 pa lang ng umaga, nag-aabang na sila ng masasakyan. Yung iba naglakad na, makarating lang doon sa dulong bahagi o doon sa bukana ng MacArthur Highway, at mahaba pa yung lalakarin nila kung dito sila sa boundary ng Valenzuela City at Mekawayan pupunta, Bok.
Okay, sana bukas medyo maplansya na yan at either mabawasan yung mga tao sa kalsada o dumami yung maaaring mag-shuttle sa kanila labas-masok dun sa kanilang pupuntahan. Maraming salamat, Lala Pangilinan. Amid the continuous threat of COVID-19, some Filipinos are proving that they are still capable of helping their fellow citizens. A food store in Lagro, Quezon City distributed food packs to police officers and health workers serving as frontliners in the fight against COVID-19. Meals were also handed out to security personnel stationed at a checkpoint in San Joaquin, Pasig City. Meanwhile, this group of hospital staff expressed their gratitude to those who gave care packs, food items, and even thank you notes. And that's the latest on the enhanced and expanded community quarantine in Luzon. For more updates, follow News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. I'm Ed Lingao, VR1 News.